Deuteronomy 33. Moses blesses the tribes. This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, pronounced on the Israelites before his death. He said, "The Lord came from Sinai, and dawned over them from Seir. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came with myriads of holy ones, from the south, from his mountain slopes. Surely it is you who love the people, all the holy ones who are in your hand. At your feet they all bow down, and from you receive instructions. And the law that Moses gave us, the possession of the assembly of Jacob. He was king over Jerusalem. When the leaders of the people assembled, along with the tribes of Israel, let Reuben live and not die, nor did his people be few. And this he said about Judah. Hear, Lord, the cry of Judah. Bring him to his people. With his own hands he defends his cause. O be his help against his foes. About Levi he said, Your Thummim and Urim belong to your faithful servant. You tested him at the Massah. You contended with him at the waters of Meribah. He said of his father and mother, I have no regard for them. He did not recognize his brothers or acknowledge his own children. But he watched over your word, and he guarded your covenant. He teaches your precepts to Jacob, and your law to Israel. He offers incense before you and whole burnt offerings on your altar. Bless all his skills, Lord, and be pleased with the work of his hands. Strike down those who rise against him. Hit his foes till they rise no more. About Benjamin he said, Let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him, for he shields him all day long, and the ones the Lord loves rest between his shoulders. About Joseph he said, May the Lord bless his land and with the precious dew from heaven above, and with the deep waters that lie below, with the best the sun brings forth and the finest the moon can yield, with the choicest gifts of the ancient mountains and the fruitfulness of the everlasting hills, with the best gifts of the earth in its fullness, and the flavor of him who dwelt in the burnt bush. Let all these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. In majesty he is like a firstborn bull. His horns are the horns of a wild ox. With them he will gore the nations, even those at the ends of the earth. Such are the 10,000 of Ephraim, such are the thousands of Manasseh. About Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, in your going out, and you Issachar in your tents. They will summon people to the mountains, and there offer the sacrifices of the righteous. They will feast on the abundance of the seas, on the treasures hidden in the sand. About Gad he said, Blessed is he who enlarges Gad's domain. Gad lives there like a lion tearing at arm or head. He chose the best land for himself. The leader's portions was kept for him. When the heads of the people assembled, he carried out the Lord's righteous will and his judgment concerning Israel. About Dan he said, Dan is the lion's cub springing out of Bashan. About Naphtali he said, Naphtali is abounding with the favor of the Lord, and is full of his blessing. He will inherit southward to the lake. About Asher he said, Most blessed of son is Asher. Let him be favored by his brothers, and let him bathe in his feet in oil. The bolts of your gates will be iron and bronze, and your strength will equal your days. There is no one like the God of Jeshurun, who rides across the heavens to help you. And on the clouds in the majesty, the eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He will drive out your enemies before you, saying destroy them. So Israel will live in safety. Jacob will dwell secure in the land of grain and new wine, where the heavens drop dew. Blessed are you, Israel, who is like you, a people saved by the Lord. He is your shield and helper, and your glorious sword. Your enemies will cower before you, and you will tread on their heights. Deuteronomy 34. The death of Moses. Then Moses climbed Mount Nebo, from the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah, across the Jericho. There the Lord showed him the whole land, from Gilad to Dan and all of Naphtali, the territory of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the Mediterranean Sea, the Negev and the whole region from the valley of Jericho, the city of palms as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, This is the land I promised an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And when I said, I will give it to your descendants, I have let you see it with your own eyes, but you will not cross over into it. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in Moab. And the Lord had said, He buried him in Moab in the valley opposite Beth Peor. But to this day, no one knows where his grave is. Moses was 120 years old when he died, yet his eyes were not weak, nor his strength gone. The Israelite grieved for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days until the time of weeping and mourning was over. Now Joshua son of Nun was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him. So the Israelites listened to him and did what the Lord had commanded Moses. Since then, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, who did all the signs and wonders the Lord sent him to do in Egypt, to Pharaoh and to all his officials and to his whole land. For no one has ever shown the mighty power or performed the awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel. And that's the end of Deuteronomy. Sweet! I'll catch you guys tomorrow.